My room is at KB614. Okay. So by the way, you can refer back to the slide later. So we uploading to the FES FYP website. First of all, the lab access currently is affected due to the COVID-19. And from the mail master that sent out last week, for those who can only access the lab are from week 8 onwards, which is in August. All right. And this is also for part 2 FYP only, and only for those unavoidable experiment that requires the lab access. So for part 1 FYP, this is still not decided yet, so it's subjected to change again from the Ministry of Higher Education. For those who need to use the lab, basically you have to fill in the logbook, social distancing, and also wash your hand before and after conducting your experiment. Right. Okay, so next we move on to the general information of the lab. Our office hour is 8:30 to 5:30, Monday to Friday. We are closed on Saturday, Sunday, and public holidays. Okay, again, please register first before you use the lab. This is important, especially for now we have the COVID-19. We need to know who's using the lab and for the record, right? This is our sample for the logbook registration. Basically, we need your name, your ID, your contact number, and your time in, time out, right? Okay, so before you conduct any experiment in the lab, please let us know first, all right? And you have to register before you use any equipment. So any unauthorized experiment without the knowledge of the lab staff or your supervisor is not allowed. And all the experiment must be based on certain fundamental theory. Please do not trial and error, right? We have the right to stop you if we found out that experiment is potential to cause harm to other lab users. Again, the safety is the most important in the lab. In case any emergency accident, please stop all your work and report to the nearest lab staff right away. Next is the first aid kit. Our lab is equipped with all the first aid kit, but all the first aid kit, we place it in the lab office. All right. The reason is because all the first aid kits are only accessible by lab staff and the certified first aiders. And why we do this? One more reason is because once you have any accident, we need to record and do an investigation to prevent the future prevention. Okay, we have also several cases, and end up we do some investigation, then we can actually corrected action, and it's actually help out a lot lah. All right, so this is important for us. So no need to be afraid when we talk about investigation. Okay, I think most of you have gone through the fire drill. In case of fire drill, please follow the fire flow marshal to escape the building. And you can find out in the common area a lot of this hotline 016-2100-861. This is for those that are when you're in common area after office hour that you have any problem, you can call this security hotline. All right. Emphasize this: if anything happen in the lab, please look for the nearest lab staff immediately. Next will be the PPE and the dress code that you need to follow when you are in the lab. First is the long pants, cover shoes. For those who are long hair, please tie your hair. Those who are using the chemical lab, you need additional lab coat. And some lab like the workshop, you need eye protection as well. Right? All these signage will be pasted out on the front door of the lab. So in case you are not sure, you can refer to the entrance, or you can just ask the lab staff. Some of the don'ts: don't smoke, don't crowd on the doors, do not put your bags in the lab, and do not eat in the lab. Okay, so for those who are using the workshop or the civil engineering, I think most of you only the workshop. You have to wear safety boots. It's compulsory. If you don't have, there's several pairs available to borrow, but we don't have a lot. So for those of you that you know that you'll be going to spend a long time in the workshop, please it's a good to purchase your own one, your own pair. This is the specs for the safety shoes. You can refer to here. This is actually a good quality one. It should have some sort of testing against the ISO compliance, right? Okay, I think not many of you who will be using the chemical lab, but anyway, I'll go through it. Those who are using chemical lab, you need lab coat. Please do not use contact lens. If you have, use your physical spectacles. Those who are using the chemical lab, you have to wear the safety specs. All right. These safety specs, you can buy it at the KA bookstore. Okay. This is some of the labs that is compulsory. Okay, the 5th floor, 6th floor, 7th floor. This is certain lab here. You must wear before you enter. Okay, so now there's two types of safety specs. First type will be those that you need to use in the workshop. Okay, so by the way, workshop also have several specs, safety specs that you can borrow. For workshop and the chemical is actually two different safety spectacles. One of it looks better. This one is for the small particles. For the chemicals one, it will be like the swimming goggles. This one is actually to protect against chemical splash. Right? Both of it is a different type of usage. You can refer this to the KA bookstore. They sell both of these. This is just some of the accident that happened in our lab. Luckily, no injury, just a minor burn on the skin. It's actually caused by pressurized explosion of the conical flask for the chemical experiment. Those who are using chemical also, you have to submit your JSA, SDS, and 7 schedule. For those who are using chemical, I'll be going quite fast. In case you need any further information, please check with us, right? Because not many of you will be doing chemical here. And different labs will have different sets of rules. Again, please check with us if in the case you are not sure. Okay. Those who are using chemical again, please transport your chemical using staircase. Don't bring your chemical into the lift, right? And also do not wear your lab coat in the lift. Please wash your hand after you handle the chemical before leaving the lab. And this is very important. Please label all your items that you are placed in the lab. Okay. So those that without signage or without label, we can't find the owners, means that the item has no owners, means that the item belongs to us. We can keep it, we can throw it. It's up to us. Okay. So it's important for you to label your item. All right. You can get the label paper from us, or you can use your own label paper. The important is label your item. Okay. For those who are placed in the lab. Okay, this is not much related to you. So, but those who are using this hot equipment, we so call it, the SEM, TPDRO, TGA, tube furnace, XRD, those you know that you need to use this, please contact us, because this equipment you need advanced booking before you can use it. All right. Okay, so their lab is very lot of rules and regulation that you need to follow. So those you are not following the regulation, you can subject to disciplinary action. So if you are doing the first offense, you'll be a written warning from the faculty, and the offender will write a short cause letter to the dean. Okay. Second offense, the warning letter will be issued by the dean, and the third offense, the case will be referred to the student disciplinary committee. All right. We have several logbooks, forms, and SOP that you can check in the website. Later, I will show you in the last part of the presentation. First is the registration logbook, which I showed you just now in the beginning of the slides. Then we have the laboratory tools and equipment logbook that you need to use. You have to register. This is important for us to keep track all the items in the lab who are using it or who borrow it. So when certain equipment, when it breaks down, we want to repair it, we have to have these records to show that there are someone using it. Otherwise, it's very difficult for us to repair the equipment. All right. We have forms for you to borrow your item. Let's say you want to borrow small items for throughout your FYP, or you need some lockers. You can look onto the form in our website. Again, you are not sure anything, please ask us. All right. If you break anything in the lab, first thing, again, report to us immediately. We have a breakage form. You have to fill in this, and the faculty will assess the breakage, whether you need to pay or you no need to pay. All right. So don't worry when talk about paying something. You know all the items in the lab are very expensive. Let's say a 100K item. If you break it, we will not ask you to pay 100K. The point here is to be very careful with all the lab items. Okay, so if after the assessment, it finds out that you're required to pay the items, the bill will be posted to you to your student portal, and email will be sent to you. You have to make the payment to the Division of Finance, like how you pay your student bill. Okay, if you do not make the payment on time, this is the consequences. For existing students, you'll be barred from the lab practical classes. All of you are considered the final year student, which is the middle category here. Your student graduation cert will be retained until the payment is made. For those withdrawn students, it will be deducted from your caution money. Okay, so next part will be very important to you because most of you will be purchasing some of the small components for your project. All right, this is the FYP reimbursement procedure. This can be found in the FES website. All right, so first thing before you buy anything, please read the procedure. All right, it's quite a long procedure, but please go through it first. Okay. Before you buy anything, first you check with us if we have the item in the lab. If we have the item in the lab, you no need to buy it, right? And the most important thing is please get permission from your supervisors. Your supervisor is ultimately the person who will be approve or recommend your purchase to buy the item. If you do not get his or her permission, end up you will not be able to claim. All right. So first thing, you check with your supervisor before you buy anything. Please try not to include your personal items in the receipt for you when you make the claim, because this will complicate the claiming process. And you can only claim once for your FYP1, FYP2 combined. You can only submit once. The maximum for your claim is only 500 per student. Okay. Please do not combine your funds. So let's say you have similar project with your friend. So you feel like, okay, 2 person, you can get 1,000 ringgit. You can buy a better item, but actually, no. Okay, please do not combine it, because the case previously that student combine it, then end up they cannot claim. All right, so please do not do this. If your item is broken or lost, you will not be able to claim. This will goes back to just now the item breakage procedure, where you have to do all the investigation, then end up you have to make the paid for the breakage item. So to avoid all this complicated process again, so the simple thing is when you break the item, you are not allowed to claim, because all the claimable item end up you have to return to the faculty. All right. So there's a list of non-claimable item in the website, which is under the 7A. So for example, the equipment maintenance, equipment. All right. All these you are not be able to claim, and the item provided by DLMSA. In case you want to buy anything under the list of this non-claimable item, you have to fill in the letter of every application first. All right. This is subject to approval. It doesn't mean that you apply, it will be approved. Okay. It must be supported by your supervisors. Okay. Once it is approved, then only you can proceed to buy it. Okay, this letter of application, you can find it in the FES FYP website also. Those items that is above 100, you need to get 3 quotations. Okay, there's two definitions here. Okay, first is a single item with price exceeds 100 ringgit. This is very straightforward. For example, you buy a monitor. Monitor costs maybe 300 ringgit. Okay, this is above 100. All right. The second is not so straightforward. The second is the item with more than one unit of the same item which is purchased and the total price is more than 100. This is also considered item above 100 ringgit. All right. So, but if you buy at different batches, it will be less than 100. All right. I'll give you two scenario here. For example, a Portland cement. Okay, you buy a bag of cement, 17 ringgit per bag. Right. So let's say for the first scenario, you buy the 6 bag at one time. The cost will be 102 ringgit. Okay, this is considered above 100 ringgit. So you need to get three quotations. All right. Second scenario, you buy 5 bags on 1st of June. So the total price will be 85 ringgit. But after you did your experiment, you found out that these 5 bags is not enough. You need to buy another bag on 1st of July. All right. So meaning that you buy it on different batch. All right. You buy a different batch. So this will consider less than 100 ringgit. So you no need to get three quotations. Okay. So some may try to split the receipt into 100 ringgit or less. So for example, you buy an item is 200 ringgit. Okay, so you try to ask the supplier to split it for you 100. Please do not do that. So because the finance, they were able to detect this. All right. So end up you will not be able to claim. So try not to do the splitting. Just get the three quotation. All right. So this is an example of quotation. There are a few types. First, you can get it if you buy the item from supplier. This is example the quotation provided by the suppliers. All right. Here it will be mentioning sales quotation. All right. The item they want to buy, the price will be stated here. Right. This is an example from the supplier. So now most of us will go to e-commerce. You buy things online. All right. So this is example from Lazada. So let's say you want to buy an acrylic sheet. You get a few quotation from Lazada. This is example you can print out as a quotation. All right. When you print out, please go to the file, print preview, and print out the headers, especially the date and the URL. All right, and save it as PDF. So we know that the date of quotation is shown, the item name, the price, and also the seller name. All right. So with this information, then you can key into your reimbursement form. So a few other examples from online quotation. Example, the chemicals would be you can get from Sigma Aldrich, you can get from Fisher Scientific, but Fisher Scientific will be in USD. You have to convert it to Malaysian ringgit. So for electronic components, you can get from Element 14, IS Components, Citron Tech. These are all by online, so you can get the price easily from here. All right. Others you can get from Amazon or eBay, etc. Okay. So when you purchase from local supplier or local store, let's say you walk into a hardware store around Sungai Long. When you buy something from there, please get official receipt from the supplier or from the local store, right? So the receipt you have to keep, yeah. The original receipt you have to keep for your claim. If you lost it, it'll be very complicated for the claim process later on. Okay, so if you buy from local supplier, sometimes you email the supplier that you buy, they won't give you receipt. They will give you invoice. Okay, but you have to make sure that the invoice has the word something like paid or payment received. Otherwise, again, you will not be able to claim. This because the receipt is the terms that the supplier had acknowledged that they received your payment. Okay, they get your money already, so you can use the receipt to claim. The invoice means that it's a transaction method from supplier to the user. It doesn't state that the item is already paid. So in terms of financial point of view, invoice can mean that you receive the item but you haven't made the payment. Okay, So to make things safe, you just request for receipt. Otherwise, if you get the invoice from the supplier, you have to make sure that there's somewhere in the invoice that stated paid or payment received. All right. Again, please keep your original receipt here for submission. This is very important. Okay. And once you purchase those items from local store, like you go to Aeon Big or hardware store, the receipt will fade after some time. So once you get the receipt, please quickly stamp it or scan it to your soft copy. All right. So in case you lost it, then you still have a backup for this. All right. Okay, this is an example of invoice. Just want to show you here, if you receive invoice from supplier, you have to make sure there's something state that is already paid. All right. Okay, so most of you will buy item from online. For example, you buy from Lazada, or some of you buy from Taobao. So for this, it's difficult to get the receipt or invoice. Some is quite difficult for you to get. So you can use the proof of payment by print out your order detail, or we call it 订单详情 in Taobao. Okay. I'll show you the example first. Shipping fee can also be claimed. All right. If you purchase in foreign currency, for example, Taobao, please use the conversion rate. The example will be given also later on. So for example, I buy the foldable signboard with the shipping fee. Okay, please write in the form description is with shipping fee. All right, quantity 4, total price 60 ringgit. So you can print out your order details from the website. Again, use the print preview and print function. All right. Here you have order numbers where you can write as the receipt number. The seller name is shown. So actually the whole process will be shown in the order detail. You have to look for the page that shown all these details for your claim. Right? Different websites have different types of arrangement, but these are the critical information that you can look for. And this will be stating that it's already paid by online banking. Okay, this is important. So you can print this instead of receipt, because for online purchase, mostly you won't get receipt unless you ask from the supplier again. All right. Okay, this is example of your reimbursement form. The form can be found in the FBS website. So it will be two parts. First part will be item 100 and below, and second part will be item above 100 ringgit. So here will be your receipt number, supplier name, and the items within the receipt. Okay, you just put in the total number at the total price of the receipt. So for example, the second part here, the item above 100 ringgit, second item. All right, let's say you buy from foreign company, for example, Taobao. Here you write with shipping fees and what is the price. So for example, CNY, Chinese yuan, 200 ringgit, 200. Then you write down the conversion fee at which date you bought the item. So let's say January 6 is 0.5887. So write down, convert it within the MYR. All right. So at the bottom of this form, there are three signatures: your signatures, your supervisor, and your HOD. Okay. You just need to get your supervisor signature and your own signature. The academic HOD signature you don't need to get. We will get it for you after the claim is all right. Okay, after the form is okay, then we will take the signature for the HOD. You just need to get your own and your supervisor signature. Okay, so the second part of the form here will be FYP return item form. Whatever you key in the first form, it will be appear in the second form. So you do not need to key in the second time. Just leave the form as it is and don't change the format will do. All right. The example of this FYP form will also uploaded in the website later on. Okay, so this is the summarize of the document for submission. First is the reimbursement form. The reimbursement form will have two parts: the purchase request and also the item return form. All right. So just now there will be two parts. Actually, it's 2-in-1 form. You just need to fill in the first part. The second part will be automatically captured. Okay. So this is an Excel format. So please use typewritten only. Don't use your handwritten. All right. And again, do not need to get your academic HOD signature. Second item you need to submit is your receipt. Please send out an original and one photocopy. Some of the receipt that you bought from the hardware shop, it will be very small receipt. Please glue it on the A4 paper so it won't disappear, right? And it won't disappear or easily because it's very small and it's easy for the admin to cross-check. And you need your supervisor's signature on both the original and photocopy receipts. And also the third item will be the quotations only for item more than 100 ringgit. Again, we need original and one photocopy, right? And supervisor signature on the quotations. Please submit your soft copy to FES FYP or not later than week 13, Monday, right? For your hard copy and all your items, you have to return by week 15, Monday also. Okay, so when you submit your hard copy, you have to return all your items together and also the hard copy receipt. Okay. Okay, last part will be on the introduction to you for our website. If you Google FES LMSA, the first link will lead you to our website. Okay, this is our information from the lab. Then you can look at the rules regulation here. All the labs are here. Our guidelines and forms can be downloaded here. And lastly, there's also a lab safety slide from the FES FYP website that is quite useful if you have time to go through it. It's very informative. Okay, so this is the summary of the deadline for the reimbursement. So in week 13, on Monday, please submit all your forms to FES FYP. All right. So Friday, you have to submit all your hard copy form to us. The person in charge of receiving the form can be found in the FES website also. Sometimes it will be changed, so I will not upload it here. You can check it from the website. You need the receipts, original hard copy with FYP supervisor, quotation we have more than 100 ringgit. Return all your items. If you have borrowed any item from us, for example, tools, beakers, or you have lockers, you use any workbench, please clear it so that your junior can use it and return all your purchased item. Okay. Okay, so in week 16 and week 17, you also have to return us the lab declaration form, mention that you already cleared up all these things. All right. So that's all from my side. Do you have any question, particular for the FYP claim? Anyone have any questions? Going once, going twice. All right. So you can contact me at this email or my room KB614. So in any case, anytime you find out you have you need to ask something, you can find me. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Mr. Ko.
Thanks, Tommy.
Yeah. Eugen, are you there?
Yep.
So you brief regarding the FYP. Okay. Yeah, just carry on. Thanks, Asun Han.
Okay, no problem.
Thanks for help.
All right. So I'll just continue with this briefing. All right, some information regarding your FYP. So those who are taking biomedical engineering, I will be in charge for your course, whereby mechatronics one, you all could check from Mr. Tommy. All right. So one main thing is that if you need lab access, so everything will be managed by LMSA. Okay, so you can check the details of all forms, reimbursement forms, your service and job request form, everything are in the FYP website. So you all could just download a copy, then forward to the appropriate person in charge to be approved. Okay, so those forms are all readily available in this website. Okay, so just feel free to go through this website for more details. Okay, so let's look at the website. I think all of you should know the location of the website. Okay, go to our faculty website, then there is a dedicated link for final year project. So click into that. Bear in mind that this will be the single most important website throughout your FYP. All updates, all forms, announcement will be made available there. All right. In case you all have missed the emails from your supervisor or your coordinators, so please check this website for the updated happenings regarding your FYP. Okay. So this is how does the FYP website looks like. So you have announcement, etc., etc. So for us, we belongs to all engineering department. Then the full set of information are available. Okay, not to be mistaken with other departments. All right, internet and computer science will have their own. Department of surveying, department of maths will have their own. So make sure that you check the information from the engineering department rather than other departments. All right, because there are certain things which are different amongst the department. So once you click into the engineering department, then you would see what are the requirements, turn-in requirements, what are the submission that you all need to perform, okay, the deadlines and stuff like that. Okay, so make sure that you're logged into this all engineering department, okay, rather than the other departments. Okay, so in the website, what you all could see are those announcements. If there are any trainings available, then you all could join in. Okay. One of the major event that we have been running are the poster competition. Okay, so that will normally be held on the last week of the semester. All right, then you have those information of how does your FYP goes about, what are the special requirements, research ethics. If your project requires any attachment or stuff like that, then there are specific application for it. Okay, then in the website also you will find what are the writing requirements. Okay, well, very explicit guideline are available, all right, on how to prepare your report and stuff like that. How to find information from online library. Okay, then what are the lab services available. Okay, and then this is one of the more important one, the planner. Whatever deliverables, whatever milestones, all are provided in this planner. So I would encourage you all to download the planner, okay, and then make note of those important deadlines so that you won't miss out. Okay, then another big chunk, like what I've told you all just now, the FYP poster competition. Okay, this will be normally affecting the second part student. All right, so then you would find the information of FYP coordinators. So for our department mechatronics, you all need to liaise with Mr. Tommy. For biomedical, you all could liaise to me. All right, with me. So, and in the website also you could find other relevant resources which which are related to your FYP. Okay. So this give the details on the various part. Okay, I won't bore you out with this. What you could do if you are interested in it, please go to the website and read this information on your own. All right. Yep. Same goes to this. Okay. So one caution is that all your reports needs to follow strictly to the guideline. All right. If not, if you check the marking scheme, then one of the biggest chunk of marks will be on the formatting and stuff like that. So Word template are available for both progress report and final report. Okay, so try to adhere as much as possible to the guideline. Okay, because we are quite particular on these formatting issues. Okay, then another interesting things for you all to note is that the referencing system that we are following are Harvard referencing system. Okay, so make sure that you check on the version of Harvard referencing system that we are using. Okay, to make sure that everything in properly formatted. Okay, so it should be, if you are required to print out the report, then you need to use A4 size, then format your report in British English. Then there will be 2 submission. All right, one will be combining of progress report. Okay, and the final report are single-sided printed. Okay, so these are the general guidelines that you all could find in the website. Okay, there are different guidelines available, so make sure you have you go through it. Okay, or if in any cases you would have any doubts or query, you can always get it addressed by your supervisor or come to us. Okay, not a problem. So then you can log into library website also, how to access the e-databases. Okay, all those informations are available in the library website. Then can check out what are the trainings being provided by the library. Okay, on how to find resources, how to make use of the databases, how to avoid plagiarism. Okay, so make sure that you don't cut and paste. Then how to format your referencing. Okay, and stuff like that. So these are the information skill programs that are run by the library every semester. So check your email on the dates. Okay, and the dates will also be available in the FYP website. Then this will be the lab services. Okay, then planner is there. Okay, this is applicable for both FYP part 1 and FYP part 2. Okay, make sure that you adhere to this timeline. Okay, those who are in part 1, what you all need to do is to register for a title, then get the form endorsed by your supervisor, then make sure that you upload a copy of the form to the link provided. All right, so this is the title registration procedures. Okay, for your information, normally you all need to finalize it by end of week 1. Okay, for our department still okay, we offer enough titles for everyone, so everyone will have the option of choosing their projects of interest. Okay, but make sure that these forms are furnished. Then you all need to submit logbook to your supervisor week in and week out. Okay, so make sure that your supervisor have endorsed your logbook. All right, because this single piece of document is important. Certain allocation of marks are made available for this logbook. All right, Then make sure that after you have run in the plagiarism test and turn it in, it shouldn't exceed 20%. Okay, anything exceeding 20%, you need to rewrite it. Okay, and make sure that there are less than 3% matching on individual sources, meaning one single source you couldn't have more than 3% similarities. Okay, and make sure that if you are quoting from the resources, it shouldn't exceed 8 words. All right. So this is the standard that the university have set up. Okay. Then part 2, you would have that FYP poster competition. Okay. When the time comes, your supervisor will brief you all about this. Okay, not to be too worried at this moment. All right, and this will only happen in part 2. Okay. Then normally week 14 is the week whereby you all would submit the report. Okay, progress report and the final report. Okay, for part 1 and part 2 respectively. Any late submission normally will be 5 marks deduction. Okay, then any very late submission, it could attract an F grade. Okay, so make sure you all follow this submission deadline. All right, then you would have 2 oral presentations, okay, across these 2 semesters. So part 1 you would have the progress presentation, part 2 you would have the final presentation. Okay, so both part 1 and part 2 you will have the same moderator. Okay, so the PIC in this type of presentation will be you yourself, your supervisor, and your moderator. That is the normal lineup. Okay, then by week 17 you all need to submit the corrected reports. Okay, part 1 not to be too worried. Part 2 there is a big checklist for you all to follow. Okay, so always make sure that you keep constant communication with your respective supervisors. Okay, your point of information normally will be your supervisor, then your coordinator, then yeah, these are the 2 parties which you will liaise with the most. Okay, for up-to-date information, as I told you all just now, always refer to the website. Okay, so these are the deadline. All right, week 1 title registration. Make sure that you have registered for the course by week 2 Friday. Then by week 12 Friday you can withdraw if you want. Then by week 10 Friday also you can withdraw with leave of absence. Okay, so these are the different deadline that you all have. Then you have FYP competition. This will be with regards to the second trimester student. All right, so these are the point of contact. Okay, you can always liaise with us via email, okay, or whatever channel that you will be able to catch us. Okay, not a problem. So these are the other resources that you all may find in the website. Okay, go through it. Okay, you will find this quite handy, quite helpful. Okay, so turn it in. It's the anti-plagiarism software that we have used. All right, we are using. So don't cheat. Okay, so plagiarism is actually copying. Okay, it's cheating. Okay, so don't cut and paste things without acknowledging. Okay, and write your report using your own words. That is the safest option available. Okay, then as long as the information doesn't belongs to you, then you need to code them. All right. So these are the Turnitin guidelines, like what I've told you all before. All right. Make sure that it is 20% or less. Okay. Anything less than 20% similarity index. That is the standard we are looking at. Okay. So there are some guidelines for you to avoid plagiarism, how to use Turnitin. Okay. Normally you get your Turnitin login from your respective supervisor. Okay, prior your submission of the report in part 1. Okay. Part 2 student normally will be added into the system already by your supervisor. Okay. So this is how does the report looks like. Okay. So cannot run away lah. All those sources will be matched. Okay, from the internet. Then if you all have loan item, remember to return it, okay, by the deadline to the lab. If not, there will be certain penalty. All right. So so these are the sample of submission for those in part 2. Okay. Then after each submission of report, there will be a time whereby you need to submit the corrected ones. Okay. So normally for late submission, within 2 days, 5 marks will be deducted. After 2 days, then automatically failed. All right. Make sure that this followed closely. So this submission venue subject to change. Okay, we might have e-submission, but please just keep abreast with the updates. Okay, as it is made available. Then I think reimbursement, Mr. Koh have said it just now, so I won't go through it again. Then these are the information that I won't go through again. I've told you all before. So this is the summary of the important dates. Okay. These are also extracted from the website, so you all could just check it from the website anyhow. All right. So basically everything must be done within 14 weeks, okay, in every semester. So by end of this week, you all could register for your titles. Okay, make sure get endorsed by your supervisor and your co-supervisor before uploading for our safekeeping. Okay, then presentation schedule will be provided to you all. Then you need to submit your logbook, all right, to your supervisor. Then for those in part 2, you need to submit a poster by week 12, week 11. Okay, then yep, these are the details of the submission, the penalties. Okay, so these are repeating already. Okay, so every make sure that don't submit late lah. Okay, that's the key things. So penalty will be you need to submit your progress report in order for you to proceed to your second trimester, second part. Okay, then every part 2 student must submit a poster, okay, for the purpose of poster competition. Okay, then marking scheme are provided in the website. Okay, so please go through this marking scheme. Okay, marking scheme is some sort of cheat sheet for you all to score in your FYP. Okay, so what are the expected standard and stuff like that. Okay, so make sure you all go through it very thoroughly. Okay, on this. So in any event, if there is any discrepancy or any doubts, just liaise with us. All right, so that's all. Okay, so should there be any questions you all could raise up to me or Mr. Tommy? So if there are any question, you can just raise your hand, then yep, and then just ask. If there, okay, seems like no one raised their hand. So I suppose that everything are okay. So always remember your first line of information will be from the website, then your supervisor, okay? Then yeah, always can liaise with us lah, if there is anything. Okay, so enjoy your FYP. And take good care. All right, thanks.
All right, if there is no questions, then we will end the session. So any other questions that raise, I mean, after this, you can just raise it to us. Yeah, about the class size, Kai-Chin, I received some feedback from your friends that he actually checked with Faculty General Office regarding the registration, and according to him, the registration will be reopened on Wednesday. So if you want to double confirm, you can also check with the general office. Okay, and I will also share with you all another document, Google Sheet, to show the availability of the titles under the MBE. Okay, just take a look by tomorrow. Okay, all right, then we will end the session. See you guys. Enjoy your FYP.